Quite some interesting dynamics there coming from the capital. Now let's come back to the county of Uasin Gishu and Eldoret, and in studio we have with us the governor of Trans Nzoia County, that's George Natembeya, county number 026. Thank you for joining us on set, Governor. And getting straight into it, this conference has a lot that is being said, a lot of pronouncements, revelations, we may say that. And thinking about it closes tomorrow, moving forward, like they say, qua ground is where the work is. One of the main things that was being discussed today is healthcare. So for you, for instance, in Trans Nzoia, what are you doing to ensure that, the healthcare, the quality of healthcare is good, as opposed to just having nice pronouncements during a conference, and then when you go back, it becomes a sad story?
Thanks, Dan, for having me. You know that under Schedule 4 of our Constitution, about 14 functions that were devolved.
Yes.
Among the most important, actually, is health. We've had a tug of war between counties and the national government, especially over the bundling of functions, because the national government still retains a lot of money that would otherwise go to counties to deliver services. Now, for Trans Nzoia, we've tried to revive infrastructure. We've done a level 4 hospital that took a bit of time, over 8 years, and it was not complete. It took about 2 billion shillings. But as a new government, we've decided to revive that project. We've taken it over from the contractor. We want to have it fully equipped, so that it serves as a referral hospital for the level 4, level 3, and level 2s. Number 2, we are putting up a mother and child hospital in Kitale town that will specifically handle mothers to do with mothers and children. It's going to be a specialized hospital, over a 300-bed capacity hospital. Construction has started. We are looking at the next 6 months. It should be ready.
At what cost?
It's going to cost about 200 million. That's construction plus equipping and drugs. It's co-funded between the county government and the donor, DSP.
Okay.
That one we are guaranteed is going to be completed. We are also focusing on assisting the so-called indigents, the people in the society who cannot afford health care. We've got a program called Nate Care, where we are paying NHIF for the most vulnerable members of our society. We are targeting about 93 households. Last financial year, we spent about 22 million shillings to buy NHIF for them. And this year, because we are expecting a bumper harvest, we are saying we are encouraging our farmers. We give you NHIF card, and we give us just one bag of maize.
Okay.
You'll be able to take care of your family of 4 for the rest of 12 months. Number 4, we also want to ensure that we have drugs in our hospitals. Chem sites are undergoing a lot of challenges.
Yes.
The main supplier to our hospitals, but there are other suppliers also in the market that we are also approaching. People that you can give money and ensure that if you're ordering drugs worth 100 million, then you receive drugs worth 100 million and in good time. So that when you go to hospitals, our people will be diagnosed and they'll also be treated. Number 5, also we want to focus more again on employing more staff,
okay.
more doctors, more specialists, more nurses, because currently our nurses especially are quite overworked because the numbers are few. Of course, the challenge has always been the issue of the wage bill, that you cannot spend more than 35% of the recurrent expenditure on personal emoluments.
Yes.
But we're looking at employing doctors and employing nurses, not as recurrent, but as a development expenditure. We're also in partnership with private persons, especially when it comes to equipment. We are talking to donors. Some of them, like Elsmed, have already started placing equipment like MRI. Today we were launching a drone a drone that will be developing, delivering samples, so that we don't need to have a lab in every facility. We have a regional lab in Kitale, and with that drone, it will be able to serve all these facilities.
Okay.
Then, of course, improvement of the terms and conditions of work for our staff.
And you will have the budget to cover that?
We are going to have the, no, it's just a matter of adjusting things, one thing here and there, so that we have a motivated staff, so that we don't have our officers moonlighting all over the place to make ends meet. We want them to focus, so that we have employed in our public facilities. We want them to focus in our public facilities.
Okay, and one of the biggest things about devolution is about service delivery. And you know, like your county, for instance, is a cosmopolitan one.
Very.
So what needs to be done, or are you planning to do, to ensure that you don't have a case of a clear cut between the haves and the have-nots in terms of service delivery? That I need to know, Governor, so that things can move faster, but it's across the board.
I run on the platform of ensuring that that services reach our people as per the objectives of devolution. In many counties, the last 10 years saw resources devolved from Nairobi to the county headquarters, and the common manager has not been able to feel the impact of devolution. We don't want to engage in the nonsense of, knowing somebody before you get service. That's not a parameter as far as we're concerned. And all employees of the government are aware, of my government are aware, that they're supposed to serve all our people without discrimination. And that's why when you look at my government at the executive level, I think it's one of the most inclusive cabinets in Kenya. All communities within Trans Nzoia are represented in that cabinet. We have got about 50% share between men and women. And all of them are aware that they've been put into this position to serve our people. Personally, I don't entertain that kind of discrimination, that you have to be given a small note, you have to know somebody before you are served. And I'm sure the people of Trans Nzoia can give testimony that service is being delivered without discrimination.
Okay, and just in closing, what is your commitment and your affirmation to the people of Trans Nzoia, and even just those who look to devolution working in regards to just making sure that devolution actually works?
Devolution must work, because we don't have another option. It's like a magic bullet, because resources and the authority to use those resources are now with the people. The people have the mandate. And that's why, from where I sit, I think public participation is very critical in terms of the citizens themselves identifying projects that will be done, and also participating in ensuring there's a certain level of accountability. And in Trans Nzoia, from this financial year, we are making very deliberate efforts to ensure that even the people who undertake the actual contracts are actually the local people from Trans Nzoia, the common mama, the common mzee, in the village, the common youth. The challenge has also been, of course, lack of capital, but in this budget, we put about 102 million shillings under an Nawiri fund, where organized groups will be identified from every ward. And the moment we identify this group, it's a registered group, we'll give you money from the Nawiri fund. Okay. And immediately we give you a tender for you to do. We don't want to give people money and then now let them to go out there looking for business. They're going to do business with the county government, and I'm sure the repayment rate is going to be 100%, because it's supposed to be a revolving fund. Okay. So that even in the future we don't have issues where our people want to do business, but they don't have money to do those businesses.
Okay, and I know our time is up, but there's something that happened in your county which I feel is good for you to speak to, because it affects a devolved function, a CS rather, but it's talking about security is not devolved, but you've been someone in security. The CS for Health purported to have ordered the transfer of an OCS. What's your comment on that?
It's a controversial issue, because she said that the Kenya Kwanza government delivers as one, and it doesn't matter which minister does what, which I think is wrong. That's why we've got 22 cabinet secretaries, each with the responsibility assigned to them by the president. And that's why you can see that even after issuing that order, she was just ignored. by April because that OCS was not removed. In spite of the fact that OCS has issues, even in terms of managing security. Of course, I know in the fullness of time, just to save face, the OCS may have to be moved, but it was a blunder. You know, you don't do that.
Okay.
And then again, you don't transfer public officers in a public forum, in a funeral, to say the least, and you're transferring people. It kind of discourages other officers. You know, they feel targeted. In any case, even the management, the day-to-day management of the police service is in the hands of Inspector General of Police and the National Police Service Commission. So it's not even in the Kindiki or Nahumiki or whoever. The National Police Service on a day-to-day work, no more operations, is under an independent management of the Inspector General of Police. And even if the President wanted them to do something, in terms of operations, he has to do it in writing.
Okay.
So Nakumija was off the mark.
Thank you very much, Governor Natembeya, the Governor of the County of Trans Nzoia, county number 026. Thank you for speaking to us and giving us some of your insights in regards to taking devolution forward, as well as giving us context on the last conversation we've had. My name is Dan Mwangi. We shall be crossing back to Nairobi after this break. Apart from us in Eldoret, it's a wrap, but we shall be still with you tomorrow as we come to the last day of the devolution conference, as we get to see the closure being done by the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, Rigathi Gachagua. Have yourselves a good night, but this is the end of the bulletin. We still have more coming up, as well as front and center.